This is a free podcast from the BBC. For more information, you can go to our website, bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
Good morning to you two.
Good morning.
We better tell Deadly that the turkey's arrived.
Lovely turkey, Deadly.
Beautiful Deadly.
Sadly, it's just about all gone.
Yeah. Oh, well. Good morning, good looking. My bit of Welsh rough. Ah, Lolly, I warned you against him. As you know, hangs on to your travel wench's every word, and is now receiving hospital treatment after agreeing with her that the dragon should feature in the Union Jack. It was when he said I could model for it, I hit him with the frying pan. Now, Lolly.
A hefty right arm she has.
You don't be so quick with your hands, as my granny used to say. Here's an idea. You might like to mention it to Charlie Nove.
Oh, yeah, I'm open to anything.
You can't, you know.
Where's
your cardigan? You were accused of wearing a cardigan this morning.
I did. I was striking a blow for cardigan wearers this morning, but Sarah was scathing, to say the least.
I wouldn't mind when she comes in here in bombazine.
Oh, yeah.
But I might like to mention, Charlie, to raise some money for children in need. Charlie, I know you will be a volunteer in a Name the Teddy competition. You can all send in name suggestions to Chas, together with a donation for children in need, and he can announce the winning name on the air. Brian Nylon.
I might subcontract that one, I think.
Oh, I thought it's a bonny day. I see you've been voted off the Coombe Dancing Show. Oh, by the judges. It's probably for the best. You'll need all this week to keep... Nobody voted me off.
I didn't know you were on.
Which couple were you part of?
I don't know. You'll need all this week to keep the troublesome Mr. Nove and his sheep under control. This is another world, isn't it? I don't know what's going on here.
How are your sheep, Charlie?
Oh, coughing terribly. They're dreadful. They're terrible.
On the plus side, you've got Len Goodman's heart. Len does take the populist side a bit, doesn't he? Just a bit. If anybody's a bit too critical on one end, old Len will always...
He's a very nice man.
You need to boost them up. You need to boost them up.
He's another one who looks not unlike Bruce Forsyth.
Do you have to look like Bruce to get on then, do you think?
I think so. I think Bruce had a bicycle earlier on in his life.
You can't say that.
On Point of View, which you will have watched, of course.
Of course,
not
yes.
easy, not easy to find in the schedules. Always a bit of a search, but
Barry Took's still doing that.
yes. Or is it the wicked winking witch of the West?
She's still doing it.
He's doing it. Yeah. Anyway, the red button. Through people power, we have achieved the ideal that you can switch off unnecessary background music with your red button.
Yeah.
Many people, of course, have just switched their televisions off. But
I find there are some commentators I'd like to switch off on certain shows.
Absolutely. Yeah. Most football matches, for instance. Yeah. And indeed, may I suggest, says Steve Beale, that the blue button should be an alarm that wakes you up when the evening's viewing is over. It's time to go to bed. But I don't think, you see that red button idea, like cutting out the background music, I don't think it would work on radio.
For
cutting out.
Do you not think?
No, I don't.
No, ridiculous.
No, never
Never heard anything so preposterous in all my life.
Thank you for taking that view. Now, look, like many chaps, Rob Sinfield, and I know you're one of them, Charlie.
A chap? Are you? Really?
No, he's just one of them.
Okay.
I enjoy watching the dancing on a Saturday night, and I have to say that sitting down a cold beer and observing Alicia do a few twirls. You're looking at me, but you don't know.
You're twiddling your moustache again, aren't you?
If I had a cravat, I'd fiddle about with that.
Little popsy.
Oh, my God, you're looking wonderful. The current Mrs. Sinfield spoiled the mood by getting unnecessary, but some bloke from the valleys called Gathin. Oh, you know Gathin at all?
He's lovely, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, and he can't half move.
He wears a see-through top, doesn't he? I'm not sure how he'd get on with that during a Saturday night out in Merthyr.
Freeze to death, you would.
Yeah. After his turn, anyway, the wife, Rob Sinfield's wife, exclaimed, "That's what Blue Peter is all about." And funny, he says, I don't remember her getting quite so excited about John Noakes and Peter Purbs.
Oh, things have changed since we were
down,
girls.
Shep. Get down.
Do you know, I still miss that kind of thing, don't you, Shep and John?
Yeah. Never been the same since old Val Singleton quit.
No, she should never have quit. Now, dear Lynn and Charles, Fred Carr is writing, calling all cars. There's not enough police drama in our screen. How true. There's not enough hospital drama. No, not enough. There's not enough reality programmes.
No.
So I want to address this shortage, and by a stroke of luck, you're both in the right place at the right time.
Well, that makes a change.
Yes, it's not like us.
Welsh and Lamb. It's a no-holds-barred, gritty drama. Lynn, you're Pansy Welsh. and no-nonsense, tough-talking desk sergeant. It's your job to book 'em in. You have a black belt and a nice pair of comfortable shoes. And standing all day about it is no joke.
Draws your feet. Ooh.
Charles, you're Bill Fluffy Lamb.
You're Nick, sonny.
You mean you keep the mean streets clean of Chummy and his mates? You're called Fluffy because your uniform is a bit old and beginning to get into little balls. You spend most of your time asking the chief super for a new one, but he's not wearing it. On the contrary, you are, and you don't like it. It offends your sense of sartorial elegance. Most of the drama is set down the station, and there's a love strand between both of your characters. Sort of eyes meeting and all that. But don't worry, because eventually you both have the operation to have them straightened. I must say, I think that's going to catch on.
Do you think?
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
I think we could get millions for that. Millions of viewers. I mean, obviously, no money.
No money.
I would be delighted if you would pass on a message to the great Bossa Nove, informing him that I'm the proud recipient of the Pudsey Bear that he signed.
Oh, excellent.
In aid of Helen Bach's Children in Need eBay, he sits proudly displayed atop my alarm clock, much as you do yourself, son. Which is, of course, tuned to you. Will the Rage Hour listening figures increase if he listens in as well? Yeah. Oh, we're grateful.
Yes.
Grateful for anything.
We'll have anyone.
Yes, we
frankly.
count bears, definitely. Yeah.
In a desperate attempt to try and do something about the figures, I'm going to start at 5 in the morning now and go on until
You're not,
midday.
are you? Really?
Yeah. Do you mind my saying that you do show what can only be described as bias in the general direction of South Wales?
That's because other people don't mention it because they can't say the words.
Well, that is so true. I can say Nant Garo.
I know, but you're special.
I am, yes.
Say nan bread.
Don't start.
That's what got us into trouble in the first place.
We've just had the turkey and now the old... I, for one, am delighted to hear that Charles Nove has had the courage to go for a bit of retro fashion by reintroducing the cardigan. You'll never hear the end of this, son.
No.
And I was I was ferociously attacked by Miss Kennedy yesterday morning. I innocently turned up in what is a fashionable cardigan bought in a young person's store, I tell you.
Good man yourself.
What, no mother care again?
She was, yeah. She wasn't having it.
I wouldn't mind, only she comes in dressed like Miss Matty most of the time herself.
She accused me of being wearing slippers next, which is a slur because I hate slippers.
Do you?
Yeah, they promote shuffling. People shuffle. I hate shuffling.
And you do that anyway.
Anyway, you're a trendsetter. The retro craze has spread to television. Only the other day, one of the reporting popsies appeared on screen wearing a tank top. Ooh. As for me, I'm about to dig out, says Bill Hollowell, my old Fair Isle jumper. Oh, the old Fair Isle. You don't see enough of those these.
No.
And have you got any kind of an anorak at all?
I may have an anorak of sorts.
A
Yes.
cagoule.
Well, no, not I can draw the line at a cagoule.
He's got a tabard, I think.
Oh, has he?
Well, a high-vis tabard to wear when I'm on the bus. You see me for miles.
It's those poor people who bid a lot of money to be driven around like a lunatic by you and Ken Bruce.
Come along now.
I hate you, Butler. And I see the BBC, says Angry of Tilehurst. It's near Reading. I see the Beeb is to treat us to a modern version of the Nativity story, depicting Mary and Joseph as asylum seekers. Excellent news, says Angry. I, for one, can hardly wait to tune in, to be deeply offended, and with any luck, I'll be so affronted it'll totally spoil my Christmas. This kind of thing is why I'm happy to pay double the licence fee. Where else can one get worked up to boiling point for a mere few quid a week? More BBC. Yes, there is a hardcore of people who sit by their radios and television waiting to be offended. And it's part and parcel of the whole warp and woof. I'm writing to officially confirm that I'm now in the final stages. Good man, Hugh. It's a Mr. Joss of Lahinch. At the final stages of production of my revolutionary new reality TV show, I'm an ordinary person. Please, let me in there. The basic idea behind this brilliant new concept, and I recommend this to our new controller of programmes on BBC One television, we could do with another reality show, is to put an everyday person, such as me, for example, you, for example, into a variety of luxurious situations normally only experienced by true celebrities such as Katie Jordan and Peter Price. Who's Peter Price? Another one I don't know. And this could include a 3-way health rub-down by the Beverly Sisters, tickets to the Folies Bergère in the company of Twiggy and Lulu, and a Big Brother-style 1-week-long locked-in session with the Year 13 girls from Rhodey. Do you think the BBC will go with this? I hope you're well. What? Hans Dadu dishes. I'm much better now. But it's not turkey, it's geese. Geese is the word. Tinned goose grease. Bet you didn't see that coming. How come we can go 11 months of the year without seeing a hint of it? You're supposed to cook your potatoes in it, aren't you? Yes, that's the rise of the goose grease. And talking of punchlines, yes, we're just concentrating for the Christmas season on punchlines. We're not telling jokes, just punchlines. And I've had a few. Neil Son Wheels has a few here. Top 10 favourite schoolboy punchlines. But that's because you're supposed to rub it in. Can't be, nurse. I had one of those on the bus. Try pulling up your string vest in future. It's meant to go down the front of your trunks. Yes. And zoo or no zoo, this I must see. And then the great old doctor joke. No, I'm going to open a window. No, but you sing it and I'll play it. Lucky the woman whose husband rings at 10:30. Oh, yes, we had a woman saying that her husband said, we're going to have the Christmas party at lunchtime, so we all get home in time. And he rings her at 10:30 from Paddington, saying he's missed the last train. Anyway, lucky, says Claire Hammond. Mine also moved the office party to lunchtime yesterday to mitigate the damage and arrived home at 1:15 this morning. Have just dropped what's left of him at the station, a mere 2 hours behind schedule. The damage done at Christmas parties. We never have them here. No, there's the BBC. It's your money, and we're very, very careful in our husbandry of it. If we're going to be talking about slogans on the side of tradesmen's vans, yeah, I saw Glazier's the other day with the motto, your pain is our pleasure. It's from Kylie Lockhalsh, 42, Glen Close, Kirk Douglas. I've always chuckled when listening to some of the dreadful grammar used by sports commentators. Oh, yeah. And the clichés, yes. The early bath, I think it was Eddie Waring was the very first of them. Or he'll be disappointed in that, you know. It's a game of two halves. Or it wasn't a penalty, but the ref give it. Well, I almost fell about Spoonie. Spoonie's a nice fella, hosting 606 on Radio 5. A top man. But I had to rewind the DAB where he reprimanded a female caller for bad language. She used the word bloody. And then I had to listen to Spoonie's estuary English and almost cried when he kept saying, Birmingham, Birmingham, Birmingham. And then I realised he was trying to say Birmingham. Birmingham. I'll take the odd mild swear word any day. Lovely, lovely. Your earlier listener who said that Ronaldo, who played for Manchester Wanderers last night, used to be on Jimmy Young's show, yes. What's the recipe today, Jim? You fool. It's not that Ronaldo, it's the one who used to bird whistling. In a monastery garden. Ronnie Ronaldo. I'm sorry, Laura de Rings. Overheard mother and young daughter in checkout queue in front of me on Sunday. This is Tansy, the mother. Auntie Caroline has written a lovely letter to say she'd like a head torch for Christmas for her travels. And then the mother picks up a very ordinary-looking boxed pen set from an adjacent display. Her mother, do you think she'd like this? We need a present for her, and this would be easy to post. And the daughter said, I thought she wanted a head torch. Well, yes, she does, but we'll get this. This'll do fine. So all I can say is, Tansy says, bad luck, Auntie Caroline. Pen set, always acceptable. Mekong Lil. We've already had an insane Japanese professor, and now we got Mekong Lil. Dear Richard Dimbleby, Vientiane calling. Vientiane, my goodness. Years since I've been up the Mekong. It's a damn long way from Welland Garden City, I know. I don't know what's happened to the World Service. It isn't what it used to be. Can you speak up a little or tell the chaps in the bar to turn down their gramophone? Mekong Lil, must be time for a chota peg, eh? The ideal choice. Well, Frida Mayer. Good point, Frida. As you know, Julian Clary and Dale Wenton are at each other's throats at this time of the year to see who's going to be atop the BBC Christmas tree for the festive season. It can get chilly up there, but it's a rewarding task. Oh, no, they can't come down. Once up there, that's it. And Frida Mayer says, the ideal choice must be now Christopher Biggins. He's won I'm a Celebrity, Stop Me Dancing in the Jungle. Well, where else can his career go other than upwards to the very top of the BBC Christmas tree? My only concern is that my own fairy stays in place thanks to an ancient elastic band around her legs which pins the dolly to the topmost sprig. Given the size of Biggins' legs, could we get an elastic band big enough for the tower? We'll clamp him on. Guess who I have with me this morning?
It's not difficult.
No, I must... Look, you see the equipment.
Is it fighting back?
Well, it's been giving us trouble all morning. But I do have a Christmas card here from Wales. It shows, look, you see a little signpost saying Llandaff, one side Canton, which I thought was China.
No!
Bute Town.
Lovely.
Rubina.
Lovely.
Roth.
Yep. These are all of my childhood, I'm afraid.
And Splot. And Santa is holding an A to Z of Cardiff. and inside, Nadolig Clown a Bluden Newada.
You know what? That was surprisingly good.
Get off. No, how do you say that then?
Nadolig Llawen a Blwyddyn Newydd Dda.
Well, that's... Oh, you see. It just sounds so good.
Everybody in Wales is going, what's she saying?
Oh, thank you. That's good.
What's she saying?
I'm writing with concern. Oh, no, David. Throwaway comment that hussy. A hussy. Now
hussy?
you're a
Now I'm a
hussy.
hussy?
A totty to a hussy. Lynn Bowles made yesterday. She said she was just there to do the knobs. Can you assure my wife, Helen, it's not me, because I was at work at the time. This is David Nobbs, is his real name.
Oh, right, okay.
In Sidcup. I'm sure Lynn is attractive in an interesting sort of way, but...
Yes, she's got a very attractive personality, I think they say of me.
Yes, she's going to grow into her looks. I'm very happily married with 2 gorgeous children. Well, we're very pleased to hear that, David. Isn't that lovely? I mean, people are complaining, of course, about you as well.
Oh, good.
Your Welsh toddy is an imposter. Oh. The ease at which she mispronounces Welsh place names,
darn it,
such as Pontypridd, is a general giveaway. It's Pontypridd. So if your toddy should like to meet someone Jewish and wise, says Taffy Thomas,
oh, I see where this
and
is
be more
going.
ready to oblige, I can meet outside the Splot Cons. What the Splot Cons?
I don't know. I don't think I want to go there now.
And the Splot Pros, and maybe share a Clark's pie. Oh. You can't get round this one with a Clark's pie.
I don't know. I think you could.
For goodness sake, we've dealt with Clark's pies. We've had our Clark's pies.
Up to here. I'm trying to cheapen myself. How do you think I'm doing?
I think you're well on the way. Ian. Poor Charlie Nove is feeling left out. Is that so,
Yeah,
Charles?
terribly, yeah. Why am I feeling left out?
Well, Tansy says his biography is not on the website. Barrowlands Boyd also fails to appear. I personally don't think it's right. For Charlie Nove is a merry old cove and deserves some acknowledgement too. And young Linny Bowles is also not there. You'd feel upset if it was you. Well, I would, but... Sorry, are we keeping you up?
Sorry, I was just yawning then. I do apologise.
Lady up at the back.
Radio.
I honestly think...
I've been up a long time.
This programme would benefit from being on television. Because there is an air of what can only be described as normalcy about the thing.
Yeah.
People yawning in the face of broadcasting.
Yeah, I'll have to prod Lynn with a stick to keep her away.
No, but it's only right and proper. You know. So, Lynn is taking up yachting. We're never going to hear the end of this, you and your Submariner.
Well, you know, Johnny Marsh, he's got one of those. He only polishes it, though, doesn't he?
He does. He polishes it to a fine, honing sheen.
And if he's got one, I want one.
Has he gone out in it yet?
Oh, I don't think so.
I think they ventured out, didn't they, just beyond the harbour walls. Thought, oh dear, there's an awful lot of water out here. We'd better go back.
I used to have a little boat on the Thames, you know,
Did you?
and I would take it up as far as a lock and then take it back.
That's my boy.
Because, what, I'm going to get out of a boat in a lock and
You can't be expecting.
pull the thing up and... no.
There's great fun to be had in lock manipulation, especially when somebody falls in, obviously.
Do you know, somehow I'm glad I'm not going on your bus. Oh. Do you know, you must be a contender for the old BBC... atop the BBC Christmas tree. Well, you know, of course Christopher Biggins is now the front runner, but...
Well, the block and tackle is already in place, isn't it? I mean, that's for Deadly normally. He does it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He gets up there. There's been a lot of ill feeling, of course. Really? Julian Clary is furious. But would you be prepared to get up and hold Christopher there, as he were? Because, you know, the winds that doth
Yeah,
blow up
absolutely.
Regent Street could have him off in a trice. If you would just wrap yourself around him.
I see myself in a supporting role.
An essential supporting role. Deadly, meanwhile, has decorated our little news emporium
Beautiful,
next
isn't it?
door.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got it. We've got tinsel everywhere.
Can't
Yes,
move
I know.
for
I
it.
saw it as I came in. And yet, look here, everybody. Look here on the radio. Not a sign. Not a
yet.
sign of Christmas, nor will there be.
Many, many years ago, there was a terrible dispute in this broadcasting organisation
Wow.
between two departments about who was going to pay for the Christmas decorations in the studios. You may remember this, Terry. And the result was there weren't any, and eventually somebody brought in one solitary bauble, and it was solemnly passed between studios as different programmes went on. They'd say, you may have the bauble now. We hung it from the microphone. It was really sad Christmas, that one.
I know. Isn't it terrible?
Cutbacks, mate, cutbacks.
That's what it is. Yeah. I see that the Labour MP for Wrexham, Ian Lucas, has recommended the Welsh dragon should be put on the Union Jack. Instead of having a beast that breathes fire, says Lewis Morals, why not have a picture of the lady that has come to be called the Venus de Milo of Splot?
I haven't heard that one, but I'll go with it.
I think a man who saw her on the flag carrying a basket of lava bread, daffodils and a leek could immediately claim allegiance to Wales and sing Men of Harlech at the top of their voices. Who was it? Was it Ridian? Did you see Ridian on X Factor?
No, I haven't been watching that.
Well, he was singing a rugby song. And
Why haven't you entered that?
that Osborne woman didn't recognise it.
No?
We sing it all the time. From the Old Arms Park right to the Millennium Stadium. Yeah.
You should have been Welsh. You should have been.
I am.
Really?
Yeah. It's not a secret that I tell everybody.
Sorry.
And now that Kelly's pulled out of dancing because of
know,
the death of her
yes.
father, Sam,
Very sad.
And Brendan, the rascally Brendan, he's a bit of a larrikin, you know, from Australia. He'd been left on his own. There's a chance for you.
Really?
Well, I mean, if Biggins can be parachuted in to I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here,
Yeah.
and win the thing as King of the Jungle,
Then you think I could be...
you could
Yeah.
get in there, grab hold of Brendan,
Yeah.
and carry it off. I can see her shaking her all in a salsa or twirling through a nifty foxtrot. And then, what's her name could bring you up to the judges. She'd be fulfilling her listeners' desire by becoming the dancing totty from Splotty. I don't.
The trouble is, I've got no rhythm, you see.
You didn't happen to see Cranford, did you?
Of course I did.
Well, of course you did. Well, this thing, does anyone know, Tom of Kettering wants to know, can I buy one of those heavy balls to roll under my bed?
Yes.
No, if it failed to appear at the other side, it could indicate the presence of a wayward woman.
Or monsters. Oh, is that the same thing?
Such a cracking idea. Thank you for the thoughtfulness and all the Christmas cards that are coming in even now. Very thoughtful. Would that I could reply to each and every one of you. And as you know, we're a blaze of colour here. It's 4 a.m. in the morning here in New Jersey, says Chrissy Mackay, and I thought I'd get up to see what you look like on the webcam. How disappointed I was to see a little bit of tinsel. Don't be talking. The Christmas decorations. Well, of course, and they say, how old is the cutbacks? It's the BBC cutbacks. Oh, yeah. And then you send Heston Blumenthal to Siberia to milk a reindeer. Say no more. Like most other people, my Christmas day is extremely busy. Terry, oh, I'm pleased to hear it, Michael McMuckle. Surrounded by friends and family, I have no doubt, and a big lump of a turkey. Anyway, he's in Dumfries, so he's to be excused a lot. And I have to plan it with near military precision. Oh, you want to be in our house. And this being so, I need to know if, as usual, you'll be a genuine trooper on Christmas Day and be going out live to the nation. Why wouldn't we? For goodness sake, I look across at Barrowlands Boyd, paying no attention to me whatsoever, and I'm just saying, we'll be here live on Christmas Day. Would we lie to you? I know in previous years you've forsaken champagne and the full Irish breakfast in bed on Christmas Day, driven through wind, rain, sleet, pestilence, dungeon, fire and sword on the day to be at your desk and broadcasting house. All for the sake of the beloved listener. So give us the full Monty and tell us, what do you plan for Christmas morn? Oh, now, too many secrets, too many exciting things lie ahead for us. I can't be telling you that. Will there be hot food in the studio and the usual round of beverages? Yes, we don't like to do the programme in any way sober. I await your answer, but be PDQ about it. After all, I'm a licence fee payer and need to plan my diary for the big day, says Michael McMuckle. If I don't get an answer from you by 8 o'clock this morning, I propose to take the most drastic of actions. I'm going to write 2 points of view. Well, you need to be writing fairly quickly, because this Sunday is the last one. You'll never find it anyway. Stab me, Sir Terry. What is it, Sir Peregrine? Sir Peregrine Falcon, Bart. Things are looking bleak in midsummer Cranford. After only 3 weeks, we have 4 unexplained deaths. Has everybody seen the recording now? Can we go on? Yeah. Okay, first, with the unseen elder daughter of Miss Matty's new neighbour. Did they bring her into midsummer Cranford already dead? Were they on the run from Middlemarch? And then came, or rather went, Miss Matty's sister, just as we were getting used to her little sort of prune-like face. And the young Walter. Had they seen too much? And latterly we hear of the demise of Mr. Holbrook. Who in the parish sought to prevent the impending marriage of those two, eh? Meanwhile, the bodies pile up, and we look set fair to outdo the sinister villages of Midsummer Lethal and Midsummer Massacre in the Fill the Churchyard competition. I'd like to know where Barnaby is when you really need him. Or indeed if it comes to that collie. Hello, collie, what are you doing here? In that silly hat and bombazine. Anyway, we are running a book on who's doing all the killing in Cranford. And so far, Miss Matty is the runaway favourite. Chuffer says, "What ho, me old low comedian, can I join in your punchlines competition?" No, Chuffer, no. You're a bit on the rough side. It's your turn in the barrel. That was the one that saw us through the war. And first time he was violently ill, second time his hat blew off. What do I win? You win nothing, Chuffer. A pair of lederhosen, festive pixie boots. It's just I promised my old chum, Dickie Touch-Tingles, a Christmas present, and he needs some new formal wear. Might interest you to know, well, I'm sure it will, Chuffer, I've been offered a part in next Sunday's Cranford. Oh, that's fantastic. I play Inspector Curmudgeonly Flatfoot, called in to investigate a spate of mysterious deaths. Yes, I mean, Cranford is getting more like midsummer all the time. Are they due to the croup, the vapours, the lurgy, hard pad, or is there a bonneted murderer at charge, or at large? Well, we have our suspicions about Dame Judy. I don't want to give it away, but suffice to say, the next time Miss Matty rolls a ball under her bed, I pop out for the sauciest game of catch you ever saw. Unless they re-edit the scene and the ball actually kills me. That's happened to me in films before. The face on the cutting room floor. I bet the residents can't wait for the railway to arrive so they can escape Cranford with their lives intact. As I say, we have our own suspicions here. We're running a book on who's murdering everybody there.
You're listening to the Wake Up to Wogan podcast from BBC Radio 2.
Yes, it's the place. It's the fashionable place to be, you know. Dr. Indrajit Singh, did you know that? Radio 2, the cutting edge of broadcasting.
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, I'm very glad you agree with me there. And, by the way, overnight, the Christmas fairy has come here and festooned us with all manner of Christmas decoration.
I am so glad to see it. But, you know, your comments yesterday about Christmas meanies had me seriously worried. I thought I'd seen nothing, but it's really nice, and I'm glad of that.
We're all sparkle here.
But your comments on these meanies remind me of the curious correlation between the switching on of Christmas lights and the speed with which Scrooges come out of town hall woodwork and look for excuses to ban Christmas celebrations of any sort. Climbing a ladder to put up Christmas lights is, in their view, a health and safety hazard. They pompously argue that the power used by the lights is a waste of diminishing energy resources. They even suggest that the word Christmas might offend people of other faiths, and after chopping down more trees for interdepartmental memos, come up with absurd alternatives. Terry, where will it all end? I know it sounds a bit over the top, but soon they'll even start suggesting that there's no such person as Father Christmas. It's all great fun and for the media, who in their love of controversy suggest that these misguided do-gooders have the support of people of other faiths. Every year I'm asked, do I object to the celebration of Christmas? It's an absurd question. For Sikhs, the more excuses for a party, as you know, the better. It's easy to sum up Sikh attitudes to other faiths. It is total respect. Because of this, I'm delighted that this year the new Commission for Equality and Human Rights has issued its own Christmas card, which I was happy to sign along with people of other faiths. As ever, my family and I will send out our Christmas cards to our Christian friends and others. In the spirit of Christmas, we in the Singh family will, as usual, force ourselves to have extra turkey, Christmas pudding, mince pies, the lot, all in the cause of interfaith harmony. No one can say that Sikhs don't go the extra mile.
Yes, it can't be. It won't be much fun for you, but you'll do it.
We'll struggle and do it.
Yes, the spirit of unity. Good. Absolutely. Now, this is just a quick one-off that we've had the pleasure of your company, but you'll be back with us in February?
Yes, I think end of January. Yes, I will be back soon.
Is our New Year the Sikh New Year, or have you got a different New Year?
We go along with all of them.
Anytime there's a party,
that's right,
you'll find the Sikhs. Dr. Indrajit Singh.
Wake up to Wogan! This was a podcast from BBC Radio 2. Don't forget you can also download free podcasts for Steve Wright, Russell Brand and Chris Evans. Get more information now at bbc.co.uk/Radio 2 and wake up to Wogan every weekday morning from 7:30, online, on digital and on 88 to 91 FM.